Hi, Janice T here in the wonderful world of real estate. And today, my special guest is Chris Schapman, president of Signature Closers, a nationwide signing agency. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey Jan,
Hey, thanks for
what's
being
happening?
here. I I'm sure you didn't start off as being a nationwide signing company. I think you had some
No?
humble beginnings.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
All right, let's talk about that. How'd that work?
Yeah, well, so Mark Fleming, previous owner, president, um, he moved on to other adventures last year, but he started Signature when he was still in college.
Oh,
So he was closing loans for some local title companies in the Columbus, Ohio area, and that's where he got introduced into the business. And I think he picked up some extra contacts kind of along the way, and just slowly kind of grew his own little signing network around a lot around the Cincinnati area, so Southern Ohio, and then the Columbus area, which is where um, he was living at the time. So he's still in the Columbus area. So he was doing that, and then that just kind of grew slowly to the point where he was. I think his mother-in-law was helping him kind of manage the day-to-day. He was doing checks at night, and it was highly manual. There was a Google Calendar and a Excel spreadsheet with a list of notaries in there.
yeah.
Um, Not nearly what we are today, and who knows if anybody was actually in compliance back then.
Yeah.
So we, we've come a little way.
You've come a
Uh,
long way.
that's right. Yeah. So Mark actually was trying to move down to Cincinnati, and we, I overheard because he actually lived next door to my brother in college, and my brother was like, "Oh yeah, Mark's got this like side thing he does," and I was like, "Oh okay." So he was not doing signing service work full time. He was in other businesses. So uh, fast forward, I was like, "Hey, do you have something going on the side?" That he's like, "Yeah, I'm about ready to give it up."
Oh
And I was
my.
like, "Well, I've been looking to do kind of a startup thing. Can we help? Can I help you?" And so we went out to BW3's, a wing restaurant, and sketched out the process on a napkin. And I don't know, a few months later, we had a website, and we're running signings through that. So,
So
and
you were the
mhm.
IT guy.
Yeah, yeah, I hacked it together somehow and
Yes.
made it made it work. I mean, the Mark's big requirement was he just needed a way to really invoice and track payments
Wow.
better.
Wow.
Otherwise, his wife did not appreciate all the time he was spending on it. So I was like, all right, that's a requirement. We'll work on that. So yeah, that launched it actually November 1st of 2011,
Okay.
and have been using that platform since then. It's obviously evolved to integrations with shipping providers, to just to automated calling, text services, whatever the case may be. Obviously, with the compliance piece of it too. So a lot of automation has kind of come along and built on top of what we initially launched.
Well,
Lots of bumps and learning along the way, but it's been quite the ride.
well, I can speak from experience because of course I do signings for
Mhm.
signature closers and I absolutely love your system. I've said it before. I feel like I have my own personal assistant. If someone puts in a last minute doc, I get a phone call, to make
Mhm.
sure I don't forget it. And that has saved me many times. So I can attest to the fabulous automation. Um, I
Yeah, I
love,
mean that's been my thing, is process. So
yeah.
before signature, it was how do we make this process as automated as possible? Instead of people having to click the same button 100 times throughout the day, can we automate that? And really, we're just trying to avoid those no call, no shows at all costs. And that's where a lot of those reminders kind of come into play.
Well, I
On
don't.
one hand, it's we don't necessarily want to bug you and the rest of the network, but as you said, it might save you that one time.
And I think the app is the icing on the cake. You know, it's ease with closing out orders, downloading IDs at the end of the closing on your secure website, and of course, new order pop ups. And I just absolutely love it. What I wanted to go back to is
Mhm.
not only did you start off humbly, but you got acquired by.
Yep, yep. We were acquired by Stewart Title like February 1st of 2021. So yeah, it's been a few years already.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's the
yeah,
American dream, isn't it? You start a small business and then
yeah,
and then
yeah.
someone yeah. And
We didn't really set out to do that.
yeah,
It just kind of organically came up in conversations. There had been some other title companies or large underwriters that had purchased or created their own signing services, and
right.
Stewart Title was one that did not have one at the time, and they were interested. So we were like, sure, we don't know what this is going to look like, but let's let's see what it looks like. And it's been great. They've taken a lot of the back office financial work off of our plate, and now we're providing a huge support on the IT and infrastructure side. So I'm not losing as much sleep at night. I don't think.
But they let you run it. So signature closers is autonomous. Am I saying that word right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They
Hmm.
don't get involved with the day-to-day things. They're not privy to
No.
and don't
No.
care about any because I know that that title companies that use your
Mhm.
system may have a little concern because
Sure.
of another title company owning the the
Yeah.
owning signature closers, but that's nothing they have to worry about. They're doing their own thing, right? Basically,
Yeah, that's pretty much been the marching orders from the very beginning is you guys, we acquired you because you were doing what you needed to be doing,
right?
and we don't want to jump in there and mess anything up either. So keep doing what you're doing. Um, Keep servicing the clients. Yeah, we're owned by Stewart, but
Right,
we're we're independent,
right,
still. we
right.
they're providing a lot of support again behind the scenes, but they're letting us do what we've always done.
And I'm sure some companies have thought that would be an issue. Maybe started with you and then came back.
Yeah, we did have one that they didn't they didn't like that Stewart bought us,
Right,
so they were affiliated with somebody else. But what it was like earlier this year, they came back because they just weren't getting the service that they needed from the vendor that they had shifted over to. So
right.
that was a good win, and yeah, we're happy to have them back and happy to keep servicing them. Yeah.
That's a big deal. It really
Yeah.
is. So I know from a notary side, working with a really big signing company, the challenges that we face, not
Mhm.
because of right or wrong, but just the dynamics of what the industry demands.
Mhm.
So I'd like to address some of the challenges that probably we both face from your
Okay.
side
Yeah.
and my side. So uh, first of all, we'll go back to how your system is set up. You have a sync platform, which is self managed, correct, by title companies, and then the
Yeah.
full
So,
service.
hmm
So,
yes,
so
we got
talk a
both
little bit
sides.
about that because if notaries don't know sync is ABCD and full service is ABCD, that's probably where the disconnect comes. So, do you want to speak into that?
Yeah. Yeah. So traditionally we were a signing service. So title company sends us date, time, location, who's signing, and we make sure a notary gets assigned. We make sure the notary has the documents. We make sure the signing gets closed out. If there are scans required, we're following up to make sure that we've received the scans and get them back to the client. So that's the full service side of it, meaning again, you just tell us what you need and we'll make sure it gets closed out.
Automated. That when you say tell us
We
what you
did,
need, they're putting it on your system.
Yep. Yeah, they're entering it, they're sending it via some sort of integration. Like there's Resware, we've got
Right.
Qualia, custom integrations out there that, yeah, we'll get the order, we take it, we run with it, do everything we need to make sure that it gets closed out. Title is just kind of like hands
Right.
off. They don't have to worry about, if the notary has to cancel for some reason, then it's on us to get the notary reassigned to that. And again, if late docs or something, we're following up with the notary to make sure that notary has the docs when they do come in, all those things. So again, full service, high touch, but we do obviously want to on the back end, we're automating a lot of that. As you know,
Right.
with like the automated phone call or reminders to title, hey, where are the documents? It's a couple hours out from the signing, or hey, looks like you finished the signing about an hour ago. Can you go ahead and close out the signing? So we're automating a lot of that. And what we decided back in like 2018 is why don't we allow some clients that want to self-manage or own the process themselves, we can essentially license or give them access to the network, to the automation tools, and also allow them to configure things the way they want to. So do they
Mhm.
want, do they need to get somebody assigned like immediately? Well, great, we can send it out to a larger pool of notaries right away, or maybe we can like slowly divvy it out to different groups at a time. So that's the self-service side, meaning that our team at Signature is not involved
No.
in the signing process at all. We're saying, here's our technology, here's the
Yeah.
website, here's the integrations. You log in, you enter the information. Automation is going to try and get a notary assigned to that. But if the automation doesn't get assigned, or the notary proposes a rate and they've got to review those, that's all on the title company.
Right.
Obviously, since we're not involved, there's a lower, it's like a licensing fee there. There's
Right.
not a per, we're not, it's a very minimal fee on top of whatever they want to pay you as the notary. So that's the other big piece of it, is we've kind of got our set rates, and some clients want to pay more, some clients want to pay less. And if they want to do that, they can go on the self-service side and dictate specifically what they want to pay for these different signings. So it's not us telling them what they should pay the notary. They have full control over that. Any questions that the notary may have, so when they reply to that confirmation email, it's going to go back to title. So we, as the middleman, are not in the picture on the self-service side,
Right.
which can be good. Some clients do want that control. They want to
Right.
know
Right.
um, who's taking the signing. They want to be in control of the rules. They may not want somebody to automatically take it, and they want to uh, review who's available, and then pick somebody. So
Yeah.
all of that is available for those clients that do want that control. And then we just tack on our little service fee on top of that for whatever they want us to pay the notary. So we're still paying the notary. Um, we do have some clients that actually, that this gets too confusing, but lots of options. If clients want to
Yes.
pay the notary directly,
Yeah.
great, they can do that. But for the most part,
Yes, you
we're
guys.
still we're still wrapping up the payments into and sending those out to you guys. So
So just speaking for the
mhm,
notary to know, notaries that hopefully are listening, because we're going to spread the
mhm,
word. If they're dealing with sync, if it's a sync and it says it on the email, this is a sync
yep,
file. If you
yep,
have any questions, you're going to contact title directly, and they're going to have the title company's either email or phone number right on their order. If it is a sync, if it is
mhm,
not a sync, and we'll just flow into this. If it is
mhm,
not a sync and it's a full service, and we don't know the title company for some reasons, which we'll probably go into in a minute. But
Hmm.
for full service, we don't always know who the title company is.
Yep.
So uh, I'd like you to speak into that only because I know sometimes when we're looking into packages or things like that, we need to contact you because
Yeah.
we do not.
Yep.
And your main contact is email, and you
Yep.
purposefully set it up that way. And you can speak into that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot there. Let me see if I can
I
touch on
know,
all the
I know.
points.
I just rambled a bit. So just
That's
pick
just
whatever
taking
you
notes.
want and go for it. I know. Well, let's start
Yeah.
here.
Okay. So on the contact piece of it, yeah. So we send a notary confirmation, obviously, when you get assigned to the signing. So when you accept the signing,
Right.
you get assigned. Um, that notary confirmation at the top, if you are working directly with title, it's or on one of those self-service signings, then at the top is going to be a big like, here's who you contact about this signing if you have questions. The beauty is all you need to do is hit reply on that email and it's going to go back to title.
Okay.
If it's one of the full service ones, that notary confirmation, it's not going to have that information. And then when you hit reply, it's going to come back to scheduling. So you really don't have to, on one level, we don't want you to have to think about, okay, who do I need to contact? I just need to hit reply to my notary
Good.
confirmation if I have a question, and that's going to go back to title. It's going to go
Okay.
back to title directly, or it's going to come to signature, and then we will reach out to title and get an answer for you.
All right.
So
Okay.
that's that piece of it. And then we did make the decision. I know there's probably some discussion out there about our phone tree and phone number and not answering the phone. We did make a conscious decision to basically route everything to voicemail. That way, it gives us time to look into the signing, look up the question, and get an answer back to you more quickly. Because it may require us to reach out to title. We could do that before jumping on the phone and chit-chatting for 15, 20 minutes while we've got other things that we need to jump on. So
Are
yeah,
you saying we
it
like to
can be
chit
frustrating.
chat? We
Oh,
like
Dan, we can chit chat anytime, but
we like to
when
chit
you're
chat.
doing thousands of files, you don't
How
always have
many notaries? How many
time
notaries
to
do you
time to
have
chit chat.
nationwide? How many notaries do you guys have signed up with you?
So it's over 50,000 on
Yeah,
the
that's a lot
network
of
right
chit chatting, wouldn't it?
now.
That would be a lot of chit chatting. 50,000
Yeah,
notaries.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
the other thing that's did did you answer all those that little flow I had? Who knows? We don't remember. We'd have to do a
I know.
playback. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. I think we did good. Here's another frustrating thing for notaries is the
Mhm.
catch me if you can. We have the app. I if anyone listening is signed up with Signature Closers, you have to. If you don't have the app, you're missing a huge benefit of the whole system. But catch me if you can, which is here comes
Yeah.
the deal.
Yep.
Order, I don't know, whatever you want to call. I've been
Yep.
I was a realtor, so everything's a deal to me. But
Mhm.
here comes a file, and okay, how fast are you? And how many people are there? And let's talk into that. Like, what does that look like for
Yeah,
notaries?
and that's so so breaking it down, traditionally we have we group notaries into five different tiers
Okay.
or five different buckets. And that's strictly based on your experience with us and if you've had any errors reported, so missignature, misstamp, whatever the case may be. Um, so as you complete signings, you move up in tier and rank, and hopefully you're not having any errors, which can ultimately bump you back down. So
Okay.
what we do is we got those five different groups, and what by default the system looks within a 30-mile radius, and it says, okay, I'm gonna look for any notaries in the 30-mile radius and notify my top tier notaries first. So it sends out that notification. So there could be, yeah, there could be one notary in that top tier, or there could be a bunch of notaries in that top tier, depending on where you are located in the country. And that does mean we are sending out the same signing to multiple people at the same time, and it can be I got to respond to this quickly, which hopefully you are taking a look at, date, time, and just your schedule and whether or not you can accept it.
That's the
Do I
other.
realize
Yeah.
that things can go very quickly
Yeah.
and you don't have time to necessarily review everything? Yes, that's definitely a concern. It's a concern for us, honestly. We want you to have the time, but at the same time, the system right now is just set up the way it is because it's always been that way.
Right.
Could we do it differently? Yes. Are we considering it for the future? Yes. I think there are some out there that send the notification and like 5 or 10 seconds later, it sends another notification to somebody, like kind of keeps
Keeps it.
going down the list. Whereas we just, here are 5 people.
Yeah.
Can you,
Yeah.
do,
Blast it.
somebody take this?
Yeah.
Um,
But you
and
can
it
still
just
get
doesn't.
referred though, right? Like someone can ask for you, as that's the
Oh yeah.
notary's
Yep.
dream, right? I want Jan to do my closings, all of my
Yep.
closings. I want Jan to do all my closings. Anyway, so,
Yep. And
right,
we do
they
have
can
that.
do that.
Yep.
And either
Yep.
full service or sync, correct? You can be
Correct.
referred in either
Yep.
system or asked for. So
Yep.
that's
Yeah. You can
important
either.
because that's what you want, right?
Mhm.
For a
Yeah.
notary.
Oh, for us, we want that too, because
Yeah.
then it's like,
We
oh,
yeah.
you've asked for Jan,
Yeah.
we'll
Simple.
give you Jan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
so I guess for those of us who do have, we're veterans and we do get referred to, that's the ultimate. And even if you're not a veteran, that's the ultimate that you want to do is just
Mhm.
have people ask for you because you're doing such a good job. Um,
Mhm.
totally switching uh, gears here.
Okay.
I think I think notaries, unless you've owned a signing company or tried a signing company, I don't think they understand how it really works as far as fees and things like that. And so I'm going to bring
Mm-hmm.
something up.
Okay.
I am in a notary network, and we talk a lot about a lot of things. And one of the things that came up recently was how disappointed they are when they see notary fee. And I don't,
Mm.
it may or may not happen in your world, but
Okay.
uh, notary fees, $1,000, which obviously we don't get $1,000.
That'd
And
be nice. We have those plans.
I'm pretty sure signing company doesn't get it. So we don't understand the dynamics of that. And maybe you don't either. I mean, I don't even know if we can address that fairly because we don't know what's going on in
Yeah.
the world
Yeah.
of title. So,
And what's interesting is from state to state, and I've picked up on this, and I don't know all the state rules by any means, but I know for example, in Texas, we've had clients that basically say, we need this preliminary invoice. So when you get assigned, they need to know what the total fee
right,
is going to be so that
right.
they can put that number on the documents
Yes.
specifically. But in other states, it doesn't seem like that's the case, and they could put $5,000 for notary services, and you're like, what's all included in that?
Yes.
Because we're not seeing $5,000
No,
per signing, you
no,
know? Yeah.
no.
So I don't know what the company is thinking necessarily in terms of, maybe they're saying, well, that includes the doc prep, that includes reviewing like maybe they're trying to justify or include time or resources on their end in that fee, in addition to what they are paying us
Right.
to get a notary assigned to it. So I have heard of some rather extreme notary fees,
Mm-hmm.
and can guarantee you that we didn't see that notary fee.
No, no. And that's, I really want, I want, notaries to know that what
Yeah,
and
because
it's
it is a
it's
concern because
it is. Plus people
Mhm.
think this is what I'm paying for you to sit here. It's like, okay, then
Yeah,
notary fee. Oh, okay, let's just, so
and then you're having to justify it
oh,
at the table, and you don't
I
want
like
to.
I'm like
Yeah,
how am I even going to say I'm not getting this? What how do you even do that?
and then
When
they're
I
like,
say this goes to the company, this goes to the company. Like I, it puts us in a weird situation.
it does, yeah, yeah, and then you question like, yeah, what are we getting out of it?
I know,
So, and I'm like,
right?
well, we've just always done the same thing for all of our clients. I don't know
Yes.
why this client decides to put that
Yeah.
amount in there,
Yes.
and this
Yeah.
client puts a totally different amount in there. So
It's
yeah, we
it's
don't control the
crazy.
documents, and
No.
yeah.
uh, One of the things I like about your system is the ID part, where at the end of the closings, you can
Mm-hmm.
put you can put the ID right from the closing. So, and this is what I do is it and everything has to be equal. The title company is okay with it, the lender's okay
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
Everybody has to be okay with us taking a picture of the driver's
Mhm.
license at the signing table. But then after we close it out, this is just a little thing that I think is a big thing. After we close it out, the order on your app, we
Mhm.
can then go and download that driver's license because we want to ship. I don't want to go home and print and go back out and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
So it saves us a lot of time. So we download the ID on a on your secure website,
Mhm.
and then I show them. I take it right off my phone when I'm sitting there, so they
That's cool.
know.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
they know. Look at, I'm not leaving this with your driver's license on my phone. Although I do have to say, I lock my phone. Getting back to catch me if you can. I have my phone locked all the time because I have emails, I have apps. I've never lost my phone because it's, part of my body now. But if anything ever
Yeah.
happened, I have to unlock my phone before I can get catch me if you can. I don't know how many notaries do that. Even if I'm home too, I just always keep it locked. So
Yeah. I
there's
mean,
that thing. I know I squirreled all the way back to, but I wanted to segue into
yeah.
IDs and the privacy and things like that. And I wanted to tell you about a closing I was at this
Okay.
week, and it was on one of your deals, and it
Uh-oh.
was it was
All
no,
right.
it was beautiful.
Okay.
So
All right.
well, interesting. So I did the closing, and it was at a title company, and it was a purchase. The seller was not there,
Okay.
but I had the seller docs, and the driver's license was in the package. So the buyer had his attorney there, and the buyer was here, and they had never met. So the attorney says to me, "Can I see his driver's license?" And I said, and I had just read the form that says we are careful not to share non-personal public
Hmm.
information with anybody.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't show you that. I said,
Hmm.
this is his personal non-private. And I had just read, I go, just, that form I just did 2 seconds ago. That's what that means. I cannot show you.
Yeah.
So then the buyer says to me, "Can I see it?" And I said, "No." I said, "I can't show it." And then I looked at him and I said, "Don't you feel safe with me? Because I'll never share your information." It was like, yeah. But it was
That was
crazy.
funny.
And I know they didn't think it wasn't anything, you know,
Delicious or whatnot.
no,
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
an innocent, "Oh, can I see?" And I was like, "No." But so
They wanted to see who the seller was,
they just
right?
wanted to see what he looked like because they
Okay.
didn't
Yeah.
know. And so, anyway, I thought that was a good story to share
Well,
with
good
you.
job. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to touch on something with it, so you're taking a picture of the ID before the signing starts. Um,
Yes.
Man, we should maybe think about how we do this. With the app, you can take a picture,
With the
go to
app.
the you can take one with the app, and actually it's gone from your phone.
Oh,
You can like
really?
save it to the yeah. But the catch 22 is you have to close the file first before you can actually,
Well,
you
that's
know,
okay.
upload any scans or upload scans or any images. So if you could get the ID at the end again
Well, of course you
and
can.
take the picture then
Oh,
with
see?
the app, and then it goes up to the cloud or to the it gets secured into our system,
Okay. That,
and then you don't have to delete anything from your phone at that point.
okay. Honestly, do I know? Okay, here now this segues into this. We need a
Okay.
little, I did not know this. And I think I've been working for you guys since you started. So I've been
Uh-huh.
with you guys for a really long time. And I did not know that. So we need a little training on what we can and cannot do with our, oh my gosh, that's awesome. How do I not know that? That's awesome. So you
Yeah.
you look at it at the beginning, you don't take a
Hmm.
picture, you do
Yeah.
the signing, you close it out, then it goes right there, bada boom, bada bing, you don't even think about it. Of course you would think that. I'm glad you brought
Yep.
it up.
Yeah. You should have two options: either like choose a file to upload, or choose an image to upload, or take a picture.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay. Well, I'm
yeah.
the next closing I do, I'm going to do that.
Okay. Try
Stay
it out.
stay tuned.
I don't think I'm lying. I haven't looked at it for a while, but
Oh,
let me know.
well, now you're on the spot. I would try it next time. All
Good.
right. Lastly, how do you see the market going? Right? I mean, things are picking
Yep.
up, yeah?
Yeah, and our numbers are kind of skewed because we've got a client that kind of got roped into helping with some recovery loans down in Texas following the hurricane that hit earlier this year.
Okay.
So, so we've seen a kind of big bump in in those. I think they fall into the refi category. Um, but that said, I think you're right. Things definitely are kind of slowly trending
Hmm.
in the right direction again.
I think so.
I want to say we rode out the storm of the last couple of years, and now we're starting to see things pick up. The yeah, refis are definitely up. Maybe I think I've heard other clients say 20 to 30%, which
Yeah.
is pretty
That's
significant
a big
since
deal.
entering out.
Yeah.
So that's been encouraging. We might be looking at some rate cuts finally, which I think will just I think make the end of the year busier than we originally forecasted or thought,
Yeah.
which is great because our original budget um, assumed that there would be rate cuts earlier in the year, and that just hasn't been the case. So thankfully, we are seeing things kind of pick back up. Which I mean, I hope that means that it's picking up for all of our notaries too. So we're getting more work out to people. So that's ultimately our goal here. And because I mean, kind of side note, we did see great notaries leave
Yeah.
the business when
Yes.
things slowed down, and
Yep.
and it gave other notaries an opportunity to fill in. But now, if things start picking back up, I mean, there could theoretically be fewer notaries in the network. So we'll just have to be aware of that. We do still get quite a few people signing up, which is
Right.
great to see. But just it was an interesting change. And a lot of people jumped into the business when things picked up 2021
Mhm.
timeframe, and then when it kind of crashed down, you know, people had to find other work, which we totally understand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you haven't been doing this a long time and don't have a following or what, however,
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
business portfolio, yeah, I know a lot of people that had to get jobs. So,
yeah, yeah. I think we're looking in Minnesota specifically. So if you
okay,
want to go to Minnesota or Wisconsin,
you'll have a job. Yeah, you'll be
I
able to do
don't think we do.
closing. Yeah, if you move to those two states, you're in. You can be a
No
notary.
guarantees, but I think we've definitely tried to get more people back in
Really?
compliance in those areas
Yeah.
uh,
Uh,
because we have had trouble. Like, hey, can you drive 3 hours to go to
oh,
this
my
signing?
word.
It's like,
Oh my gosh. I don't think people understand what it is really to have a signing company. I really respect you guys. I've been doing business with you for a really long time, and I pick and choose who I work for at this. At the beginning, you did anything, you practice on everybody else's deals, whatever. But then you get to a point where you pick and choose who you want to work for, and I'm honored to be a part of your world, and I really appreciate you and your company. And do you have any last minute anything you would like to say to
well, I mean,
the
thanks for
viewers?
those comments. I mean, from the beginning, we've tried to be fair
Yeah,
to everyone involved and try to see both sides of you know both stories. Where's title coming from, where's the notary coming from. I heard nightmares of signing services taking all the money and like shutting down and not paying notaries, and I was like, I am not going to be in a business that does that. Like,
right,
that is so initially, like, I think there was some hesitation with a lot of notaries, like, I don't know who you are, I don't know, am I going to get paid for this work? So from the beginning, you know, we haven't been perfect, but we've wanted to be as consistent as possible with payments. So I'm glad we're doing it twice a month right now. You know, ACH direct deposit stuff is an option, so it gets there more quickly. Um, could we change it to weekly or something at some point? Yeah, we've considered that, but I always wanted to make sure we were paying notaries, even if we weren't receiving the money yet from
right.
title. So most of the time we get paid for the signing well after we've paid
Hmm.
you and our other notaries, and we're
Right.
we're happy to do that because you're out there providing the service that our clients need.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of our notaries out there that day in, day out are hustling. That's great.
Well, thanks so much, Chris, for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. And
Welcome. We'll have to do it again when we get
yes,
some other spicy topics to talk
okay, we could do that.
about.
All right. Chris Schapman, president of Signature Closers. Thanks a million. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, take care.